As you heard there, JKLIVE is powered by Johnny Walker, or as my friend Francis Atwoli would say, Johanna Omushendani. Did I get that right, SG?
Yeah, very well.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. Johanna Omushendani.
Omushendani.
Yeah.
Johnny Walker exhibiting his eminence in electrifying quality and is celebrating 200 years of blended Scotch excellence. Thanks so much for your time, my friend. Good to see you. You must be very happy. You must be doing backflips because 9 months ago you predicted BBI would win in 35 plus counties.
Absolutely.
We are at 41 now.
Yeah. And it was carried out by the Standard newspaper on, I think on 3rd of February this year. I repeated
your prediction.
Yeah.
Your prediction.
Yeah.
How do you explain that? How do you explain 41?
You see, you feel, you know, when you have been around for some times, there are things that you just feel this will go this way and such things will go on the other side. And it comes to happen.
Were you worried at some point that it
might...
No,
never.
Huh?
Never. Never.
You're the same person who predicted Trump would be re-elected. Come on.
Yeah, but Trump, look, for his first election, he won by around 50 million votes. This time as he was going out, he had 80 million votes.
70 something.
And around there, the difference was about 3 million votes. If it were not for George Floyd, he would have won. But as I've told you always in politics, my friend, one day is 100 years.
Yeah.
Anything can change. But putting that aside, Trump was not sympathetic to the situation which was happening in the U.S. Because he was part of the racists of the United States of America.
And you didn't think that when you were predicting he would win?
No, I knew very well that I didn't expect anything of that kind to happen because that was an abrupt issue and which was a sad issue. Yeah, and it marred chances for him to win.
Okay, let's come back to Kenya. The BBI victory, what does it mean for President Uhuru Kenyatta and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga?
Actually, I don't want to look at it from that point of view because every Kenyan won. BBI is good for Kenyans. Devolution is good for Kenyans. So every Kenyan is a winner in this BBI thing. Yeah, it is not Raila Uhuru versus who won. So I think every Kenyan won. Because if you see what devolution has done in this country, my friend, it's marvelous. Yeah. There are counties like Mandera, Wajir, go to Kakamega, go to Busia, go to Migori, go everywhere. People are feeling that they belong to Kenya because of the devolution. So I think this BBI is good for every Kenyan, and nobody is a loser or nobody.
Oh, really? So Deputy President William Ruto and Tanga, they're not losers in this?
No, I said as Kenyans, they are entitled to their own opinion. Yeah, they are free, and that is why our constitution provides freedom of expression. And some of the things they are talking might have been helped the BBI and Kenyans to put it where it is today.
But explain to me, SG, looks at someone like former Majority Whip, Irungu Kang'ata. He had said, things are different on the ground in Murang'a. Murang'a people are not going to vote
for... That was daydreaming. That was daydreaming. And we have so many people who suffer from daydreaming disease. It's not only Kang'ata. Because you can come up with something that you have not properly thought of or something you have not widely consulted. You meet 3 or 4 people coming from a den of Changa, and then they are saying we are going to oppose, and you are carried away with those people without knowing what is happening. I have told you on this bench, Jeff, that Kenyan politics is pegged to ethnicity. And every community has its own leaders. So unless you are talking to leaders, don't be deceived by those people you are talking to. At last they will listen to what their leader says. And when Uhuru went to Sagana, he changed all tables in one day.
How did he do that? I mean, even when he finished that meeting, people were still skeptical. People were still saying, "Kwa ground, vitu ni different."
Yeah, but they have got to believe in their leader. They will have to do what their leader has asked them to do. They can say so. In the absence of any alternative, whom do they listen to?
So how do you explain the crowds that followed Ruto up and down?
If crowds were making people to be leaders, or if crowds would have made ones to become a president of Kenya, Kenneth Nchindo Matiba would have been a president before he died. You remember when he came from abroad?
I remember.
Everything was at standstill.
From the airport.
And I know you didn't see Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, the father of Raila Amolo Odinga.
No.
The crowd he used to pull. You might have not seen it. Maybe a little bit you saw Martin Joseph Shikuku with the crowd he used to pull in town, yeah, and everywhere in Kenya. Did he become a president?
So what are you saying? Crowds don't matter?
Crowds, they come to listen to you, they want to hear you, or they have been incited to come and listen to you, or even bribed or bought or ferried to listen to you and hear. Don't be deceived by the crowds. At the end, they will listen to their leaders, the leaders they believe in.
Okay, how does that explain Turkana when Nanok told former Prime Minister Raila to his face? He says, you know what? We are together in ODM, lakini hii kitu tukutane kwa debe.
But he underrated the Prime Minister because he's a product of Raila Amolo Odinga.
What are you saying? So what?
And you were here when Raila was there, when sub-leaders were were assuring Raila that whoever is not with you, we will vote him out. He would have listened to those grassroots leaders. I have told you there are some other places where Raila doesn't need the leaders of that particular area to go to, who believe in him like that. And we must recognize that. He has that talent. You can call him names, you can do what. Yeah, but come to my own former Western province now, where we have about 4 governors. 3 governors are ODM governors. 1 is Ford Kenya. So tell me, how does that explain? And we had Amani, or ANC party in Western Kenya, which didn't get even 1 governor. So how do you explain that? So sometimes there are leaders, people just be, like now I can tell you for sure and for free, there is no way you can dislodge Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta in Mount Kenya area.
Come on. They had said that it's time for him to go home. That's what the ground was saying.
Yeah, but even if he's going home, he remains undisputed leader of that particular area.
And why were people
as an elder?
Why were people quick to flee? Like, Sagana, they were quick to flee. They're saying, he's a lame duck, some of them said.
Oh. Then somebody would have asked them, then who is alternative to him in this region? Who is alternative? Let me tell you, to become a leader, you must have what we call capacitor. A capacitor has something called capacitance. Its strength is capacitance. And what it does, it stores power or something like electricity that it releases to some circuits to work out on whatever it is, or a transformer. It transforms, and it is not easy to get somebody who have capacitance to be recognized almost by everybody.
How does that explain Baringo? Is that the same thing? Baringo County voted no.
Baringo may be, I attribute it to 2 things. Maybe there were some MCAs who voted protesting maybe against my party chairman, Gideon Moi, because if he had not, these are leaders, MCAs are leaders. They need to be recognized and to be talked to and to be explained to. And they rushed to go for that their meeting, making a decision in the assembly without their leaders having carried out wider consultations with them. They said if they have ignored us, Let's vote the way we want to vote.
So they were sending a message to Gideon Moi?
I think so. It was a strong message to Gideon, that he must be assertive the way his father was. And he must move closer to grassroots leaders. And he must work with them. He must eat with them. He must recognize them. And he must sympathize with them in any situation that they might be in.
Opponents of this BBI, the critics are saying, wacha tukutane kwa referendum. Tutawachapa kwa referendum.
Let me tell you, and you can take it to the bank. At 10 a.m., the referendum would have carried the day. I'm telling you, at 4 a.m.
This is another of your predictions.
I'm telling you, for sure and for free. This is the stories people have been saying all the time about numbers. We have numbers in parliament, we have numbers where, and when Uhuru wants to make changes, it takes him just less than 2 hours and he has made changes. It is not a question of, wishful thinking. Yeah, it's a question of reality, political reality on the ground.
So how do you tie in BBI and 2022 elections?
Currently, we are not in 2022, but 2022 I had told you some times back, and I don't want to keep on repeating myself.
You can, it's okay, you can.
2022, I told you I don't know who is going to be the President of the Republic of Kenya, 2022, for sure. I don't know who will be. But I know who will not be. That one I told you, for free. And I told Kenyans.
Okay, and that person you've already said would be the deputy president, would not be president.
Absolutely.
And the reason, well, do you think he'll be impeached? Because the score for is impeachment.
No, I don't support impeachment.
You don't?
I don't. I'm not for impeachment. He was democratically elected. And as I've said time and again that I wish he had good advisors, he would be still supporting President Uhuru Kenyatta because they were elected together. Until when the IEBC declares that now we are going for elections. And then he would have come up and say, I've supported you up to now, I'm here. Yeah. So and he would have supported all President Kenyatta's initiatives. They were elected together, but not on equal terms. One was elected as a president, the other one as a deputy president. And you need to read well about your roles as a deputy.
And you think there's anyone in the field that we see right now? You don't think there's someone he looks unbeatable right now, by the way.
Oh no. Oh no.
He's the front runner.
Oh no, my friend.
Come on.
Oh no, my friend. Wait, when the time comes, you will see.
What time is this?
When the elections for 2022 would have been declared, that is the time we will know who is who. Right now we'll have formations, political movements from here and there.
Yeah.
You see, people coming together for, some meeting in different places for either a cup of tea, consulting one another. But when the time comes, then that is the time you want to see men out of other men.
Speaking of meeting in certain places, there's a famous ranch in Kajiado County called Ildamat.
Absolutely.
Your ranch. I think we have a picture of it. It looks like people come there for some kind of pilgrimage, or for them to kiss your ring.
No,
looking for your approval.
My friend, no, my friend.
What is it? They always come every weekend.
These are people you know very well. These are my friends. These are people who are elders of this country. These are people who are worried about the posterity of this country.
So they come to you for that?
These are people.
Look at the pictures. Look at them.
Yeah.
This is not ordinary people who come there.
Yeah, but for consultation and what have you.
What consultation?
I have been around for a long time, and I've told you I firstly voted in 1969. Are
you the kingmaker?
Not absolutely a kingmaker, but one of the Kenya's elders.
No. Harry, no. Okay. Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga was there last.
Jeff, do you know, I saw Mbiu Mwana wa Koinange when he was a minister for education. And he came to my area in Western Kenya. And all schools in Butere, we were given a holiday. They were on holiday. I saw him. And he toured schools in Butere.
Right.
Butere was together with the current my constituents of Huisero. A powerful minister.
Is that what?
And then he was a powerful minister in the office of the president.
Is that what you are now? You're a powerful man.
No. By that time, if he was still living, we would be consulting him. My friend.
No, come on. Look, Peter Kenneth, Gideon Moy.
Absolutely.
Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga.
Sure.
Senator James Orengo.
Yes.
David Murathe.
Absolutely.
Jubilee.
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody comes to your house.
It's not everybody. These are keen Kenyans.
What do you mean keen? Keen on what?
Thinking, articulating issues, debating on where we are going and where we are coming from, the situation that we are in, monitoring and focusing on Kenya's future. You should say thank you for Peter Kenneth, thank you for Murathe, thank you for Orengo, thank you for Mzee Honorable Raila Odinga. Thank you for the young men who are also accompanying the Junet. Thank you for Wangwe. Thank you for Maoka Maore. These are deep thinkers, people who can sit down, and they have not stopped anybody from coming to your place, Jeff, or anybody's home, also to meet and assess the situations of the country.
Okay, let me put it this way. How come I don't see Musalia Mudavadi, Kalonzo Musyoka, Moses Wetangula? I don't see them in the mat.
You know very well Musalia, he's the spokesperson 2016 of the Luya community politically.
No, you're not answering my question. I don't see him at
No, let me tell you. If he was the one coming there, then you people, the same people, you would be saying, oh, Atwoli now is forging for Musalia Mudavadi to become a president. That would be the story.
No, it wouldn't.
That will be the story.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that would be the story. And that would put me in collision with your friend Mukhisa Kitui. You put me in collision with your friend Baby Wetangula Weta and any other Luya like Oparanya, those who have declared to become to vie for presidents of this country.
Right.
Yeah. So we have left them, and the best out of them will emerge. As leaders normally emerge, my friend.
No. You're avoiding the question. Are you forming an alliance in Kajiado, in Ildamat, at your ranch? Are you forming some kind of alliance?
Alliances are prompted by a situation. All alliances, political alliances, are prompted by something else, and then people automatically come together. We are not yet there.
You're not yet there?
We are not yet there.
But you're forming.
No, it's just like when we met recently, for example. We were looking as per how BBI will take shape. How is it going to take shape? Is it in the manner I had predicted? Those are the things we need to look, because we are interested. You remember 2017, and I told you sometimes look for that clip and play it here. 2017 on May Day, it is when I announced myself, because we had looked at it very broadly. I said that the time is opportune. It is time now for us to revisit our 2010 Constitution. This issue of whoever wins takes it all, it doesn't augur well for Kenyans. Or when the two come together, they assume the responsibilities of governance and they share all positions amongst the two communities. It doesn't augur well for us. And two, it leaves Kenyans fighting. And the people who are recipient, people who receive these problems, or who are recipient to these problems, are workers, women, and children. Children of workers are the ones who are shot dead. Workers lose their employment. As I've told you here and time and again, that we have only one man in the Republic of Kenya who can give Kenyans a holiday outside government gazetted holidays.
And that man is?
That man is Raila Odinga. If tomorrow he says on Monday or Tuesday, nobody's going on duty, everybody should be at Uhuru Park. You will see all shops in town closed everywhere and people will be at Uhuru Park. How do you deal with such a situation?
So tell me something, BBI will help that? I mean,
absolutely.
Creating those 5 positions, president, prime minister, deputy president, vice president.
In all countries where there have been problems, political instability and so on, people have looked at their constitution. How do we govern ourselves? Like in Switzerland, they agreed, let the presidency rotate and let us strengthen the institutions. And there is peace. So people peg stability and the culture and traditional way of doing things in their own country into a paper.
Yeah, but we have 44 tribes.
Yeah.
You're giving 5 tribes positions. Is that fair?
Those positions are for those top contenders, people who might have been on top there. The agitators, people who can come back and agitate for problems.
So you're giving it to the noisemakers?
Not actually noisemakers, top leaders. Okay. Call them top leaders.
Before I take a break, I want to ask you, are you sure you're not forming some kind of alliance, a ticket between former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and Peter Kenneth, say? Is there a ticket being formed in your ranch? They've been there several times.
Let me tell you something. That might come. It might not be even Peter Kenneth. It might not even be the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. It might not even be for the people you are saying. But a situation, as I've told you, alliances and leadership, leadership structures are prompted by a situation. Some are prompted by crisis. Some are prompted by over propaganda on something else. Some are, a situation prompts such a thing to happen. And it might not be only between those people you are seeing. There are some other quiet leaders somewhere that you are not seeing.
Can there also be an alliance between former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and Deputy President William Ruto?
If he so wishes.
You think it can happen?
Everything in politics is possible. What would stop that?
Do you see that happening?
I don't know. But
do you see the meeting at Ildamat, at your ranch?
No, but I can't. I've told you, alliances and people coming together is always prompted by a situation. And in politics, I've always told you, one day in politics is equivalent to 100 years. So you cannot know what will have to happen tomorrow. But when we start focusing on 2022, a lot of things will have to take shape. And political path will be seen by everybody. Political analysts and real politicians and observers will be there watching.
So you can't rule out Raila and Ruto? You can't rule them out?
I don't want to talk that for now, but I don't know what will have to happen. As I've told you...
Come on, you're the guy who predicts things.
Yeah, but what I've told you, I know for sure, and I want to repeat for you to understand. I know for sure we will vote. Kenyans will go for a vote, voting day. And people will turn up in large numbers. But there will be a president voted. But I know who will not be voted in as a president. That's what I've told you. And I've alerted Kenyans. It's not easy, even in accordance of history of our own country. All leaders who have led this country, the way they have come in, you cannot be able to predict on anything without referring back to the past political historical events that have taken place over the years.
But you just predicted who won't be president. You just said that.
Yeah, because I knew. We have never had a chest thumping person, moving faster without checking where you are coming from, going straight, fighting, as if you don't know sometimes there might be marimas on the way where you are going, without consulting, without due regard to the rest of the peers in the very same game. You can't win, even if your manhood is doubled. No manhood.
Did you just say manhood is
doubled?
Yes.
Cannot win.
Atokiwa na uwezo aje?
Kuna.
Na wezi?
Wezi bwana. Can't. It's an obvious.
I think you're being a little unfair.
Let me tell you, we are living in a changing world. And we must accept that. Politically, economically, and socially. Things that are taking shape in the world are not the same things which used to be there before.
All right, let me take a break, come back. There's something else you said, I think it was on Labor Day a few years ago. You said the president is too young to retire.
I will explain that.
I want to come back with that. You explain why. I mean, he's ready to go home. He says he wants to go home. You're insisting he stays.
No, I'm not insisting. I'm not insisting. I'm saying when we attain a new constitution, for example, if the BBI goes through, it will be up to him to decide. He has decided he's going home. But if he so wishes, because he will be on a negotiating table. You remember when he was at Sagana, he told you people that I will be on that negotiating table. I too, Francis Atwoli, I will be on that negotiating table.
You'll be there?
I will be there.
You'll be there?
I will be there. Shed, son. I will be there.
I was wondering how long it was going to take. Finally, he wakes up. Oh, Shenzi water.
Yeah. Huh? And if he's on that particular table and he says, gentlemen, I have seen the list of the people whom you want to propose for these positions. I would like to, if you can, I'm begging you. I'm not asking, I'm not forcing you. If I would like to have head of these lots, which one would have you given me? I've consulted my people. They are free. They are saying, because if they say, like we in the trade union movement, when we are working out on leadership structure, the delegates group for their seats. They say, Luias, you are now having a secretary general. Go there and decide. Luos, you are having deputy. Go there and decide. Kikuyus, because of your businesses and what have you know how to keep money, the treasury is yours. Go there and decide. Vice Chairman General of Kotu, this goes to the Rift Valley Kalenjin. Go and sit there and see whom you are going to deputize. Such we sit like that. Assistant Secretary General, we want a lady. So we want also the marginalized communities, like my assistant is at Turkana.
All right, explain that when we come back. What do you say? Finally, you have woken up. Thank you. Keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff, at Citizen TV, the hashtag JKLIVE. Kotu Secretary General, the man with the predictions. He says he knows who's not going to be president in 2022.
Absolutely.
Do you know who's going to be?
I don't know.
All right.
And you can take this to the bank.
What bank? Take a break. Back in a moment.